I didn't realize how much of my life I had given away until I couldn't stand up from the bathroom floor. That sounds dramatic, but it wasn't. There was no big collapse, no crying, no moment where anyone rushed in. I was just sitting there, back against the tub, staring at the tile, thinking, I don't think I can do this anymore. I was in my mid-30s by then. Tired in a way sleep didn't fix. For years, I had been the person everyone relied on. At work, at home, in my family. Not because I was the most capable, but because I never said no. If something needed to be handled, I handled it. If someone needed help, I adjusted. It didn't feel heroic. It felt normal. My mother had been sick for a long time. Not dramatically ill, just constantly unwell. Appointments, medications, mobility issues, days where she couldn't get out of bed. My siblings lived nearby, but I was the one who showed up consistently. I took her to appointments, managed her prescriptions, stayed overnight when she was scared. No one asked me to do it. They just assumed I would. At work, I had been in the same role for almost a decade. I was good at it. Not flashy, not ambitious, but reliable. I trained new hires. I fixed mistakes quietly. When deadlines were tight, my name was always mentioned in passing, she'll figure it out. Raises went to other people. Promotions too. I was told I was essential where I was. I didn't complain. I didn't want to be difficult. My siblings had their own lives. Careers, marriages, children. They praised me often, especially in public. We don't know what we'd do without her. She's so strong. She's amazing with Mom. They never offered to switch places. I told myself this was just adulthood. That everyone was tired. That this was what responsibility looked like. The first crack appeared when my doctor told me my blood pressure was too high for someone my age. He asked if I was under stress. I laughed. I said, nothing unusual. A few months later, my mother had a fall. Nothing catastrophic, but enough that she needed more help. More supervision. More nights where she was scared to be alone. I asked my siblings if we could rotate care. They all agreed immediately. Then nothing changed. There was always a reason. A work trip. A sick child. A deadline. They'd call and apologize and promise to make it up later. Later never came. At work, a new manager joined our department. Younger. Energetic. Full of ideas. He wanted to shake things up. He asked everyone to outline their contributions over the past year. I spent hours writing mine. Detailed, honest, thorough. When promotions were announced, my name wasn't mentioned. Again. Instead, someone I had trained, someone who frequently came to me for help, was promoted. I congratulated them. I meant it. And then I went to the bathroom and sat on the floor because my legs wouldn't stop shaking. That night, I didn't answer my phone when my sister called. She left a voicemail asking if I could stop by Mom's in the morning because she just needed one day to herself. I didn't go. The next day, my brother showed up at my apartment. He was worried. He said Mom was upset. He said I was being selfish. That word landed harder than I expected. I asked him when the last time was that he stayed overnight with her. He didn't answer. We didn't speak for a while after that. What followed wasn't dramatic. It was quiet and uncomfortable. My siblings stepped in more, not out of understanding, but necessity. Things were missed. Appointments were delayed. My mother was frustrated and confused. She asked me why I didn't come around as much. I didn't know how to explain that I was afraid I'd disappear if I kept going. At work, I stopped fixing things that weren't mine. I stopped staying late. I did my job and went home. People noticed. Not with concern, with irritation. I was told I seemed disengaged. I didn't argue. A year later, my mother passed away. Peacefully. In her sleep. At the funeral, my siblings cried and hugged me and told everyone how much I had done. How devoted I'd been. How lucky Mom was to have me. I stood there, numb. Afterward, when the will was read, there was confusion. My mother had left me the house. Not because she favored me, she wrote that clearly. Because she knew I had put my life on hold. My siblings were stunned. Hurt. Angry. They said it wasn't fair. I didn't say anything. I didn't feel victorious. I felt exhausted. Update, years later. I sold the house. I used the money to go back to school part-time. Changed careers slowly. Carefully. Without announcing it to anyone. My siblings eventually adjusted. Our relationships are polite now. Distant, but calm. At work, I left quietly. No farewell speech. No dramatic exit. Sometimes people ask how I managed all of that for so long. I don't know how to answer. I think we don't realize how heavy life has become until we finally put something down, and notice how quiet it is afterward. Thank you for watching. Check out my channel for more stories like this. Please subscribe, like, comment and share. Midnight Tea Stories.